It's the first video of 2021.
New year, same me.
I figured I'd make it messy because we love tea. Today we're going to go through and talk about red flags when it comes to dating. I feel like I am a veteran at this now. I'm like I'm the big sister that can give you so much advice when it comes to F-boys, red flags, when to throw the whole man away, things that you need to know and things that will change your mindset when it comes to dating that I wish I learned earlier. So I've compiled like a list on my notes. I swear, like, if I ever died and someone threw my notes app, it would be terrifying. But I want to go through this all and just talk to you about my top get out of there situation. In this video, I am going to be referring to men because it's my history, my experience, but this does apply to all genders. I've just compiled stuff from my past, not my present, and not my future, because absolutely not am I going through this again. Any of you that are single, and if you've been single through the pandemic like I have, what even is physical touch? I'm so touch starved, it's actually a joke. We move. I've said we move for a year straight now that I don't know how many we moves I have left, but I'm trying my best. Let's just get into the messy tea when it comes to dating, and let's have fun with this, because yeah, this is just stuff I wish I knew. Okay, so probably the most important dating advice I can possibly give you to start off with. If they like you, you'll know, and if they don't, you'll be confused. That will answer so many questions. Real talk though, if he's not swiping up on all your stories, he's not commenting on your photos, he's not being your biggest hype man in life, he's not making you feel loved and supported naturally, I would say throw the whole man away and throw him straight in the bin. You deserve better than that, and that is bare minimum. I feel like the bar and the bare minimum is dropping so low lately that is actually quite terrifying, but it is the bare minimum that he should be hyping you up. If he likes you, you'll know. If he doesn't, you'll be confused. Brilliant advice. Okay, so I've had an experience in my life, well, multiple. I have dated men with narcissistic tendencies, and I know the word narcissist gets thrown around these days. People tend to think anyone who is a little bit self-absorbed is a narcissist, but a narcissist is much more than that. A narcissist is extremely emotionally abusive, gaslighting behavior, manipulation. I don't think people want to hear this, but this is point blank truth. Accusations from a narcissist to you are actually confessions from them. Chatting to someone, talking to someone, dating someone, and they are constantly like, you're gonna cheat on me, you're gonna cheat on me. I hate liars, I hate liars. I hate people that cheat. And they say it excessively, like we all hate cheaters and we all hate liars. You don't have to tell someone every single day. If they're saying it to like excess, that is confession, and that is guilt, and that is projection from them onto you, because they feel so bad for what they're doing to you behind the scenes that they're almost gonna like accuse you of it so that they won't feel as bad when they're found out. Okay, and breathe.
And that's on period. So if you do me dirty, bye, deuces, you gotta go. Period.
I have not been proved wrong yet. Every single guy that has accused me of the weirdest stuff, they actually did themselves. I had this guy accused me of flirting with someone in front of him when I clearly wasn't, because I was just like tunnel vision on him, and he like decided to get angry at me for days over something that never even happened, and I was just like, are we in different dimensions? Like, what's going on? Lo and behold, the guy screwed me over so badly within a few days of that that I was like, oh, you were projecting. A guy that has to tell you, I'm a really nice guy, I'm a loyal guy, I won't hurt you, I would never do that. Guys will say what they need to, but it's not gospel. You really need to take it with a pinch of salt sometimes with like what is being said, because you shouldn't be focusing on words, you should be focusing on actions, and that is where you see the full behavior. Because when it comes to dating, if the movie was like on mute and it was your dating life with this person, if it was on mute and there were no words, what does it look like? What are the actions showing? That is where the answers lie, and sometimes I feel like you know the answer, but you're just like resisting the truth. But your gut always knows, your intuition always knows, and you should listen to it. Alarm bells, alarm bells, alarm bells when a guy is like, I'm a really nice guy, I'm a really loyal guy. you shouldn't be telling me this. I should know this through your actions. If you have to tell me that you're a nice person, chances are you are not. Okay, next point. Oh God. Ladies, you are not an emotional support animal for a man, especially not a man in his 20s, in his 30s. You are not an emotional support animal, nor are you a free therapist. You are not his mother. A relationship or dating, anything should be equal. It should be equal effort, equal reciprocation. If a guy is like offloading all his trauma onto you, he's offloading like so much stuff and all he does is talk about himself, and you're the savior who's like the empathetic codependent. I know, I've been there. I know the people pleaser who's like, oh, I feel so bad for them, they've got such a deep side, they've got such a different side to them. That's the thing that I used to do so much, is almost like attract people that I knew were bad for me and almost like romanticize them in my head to being these good people with great hearts and everyone has a good side and all this stuff, instead of just judging someone's character and what they're showing me, you know what I mean, and showing through their actions. So lesson learned. This whole like, oh, they do have a good side. The minute you find yourself making justifications and excuses up for these people, like, please just stop and be like, someone's not right here. Someone's not right here. You're not a therapist. It should be equal. You should be taking as much as you're giving. And if you're constantly giving and giving and giving and just being someone's therapist, it is a lovely thing to do, but it gets to a point where it gets so extreme that all you're doing is just being their emotional support animal and they're just using you for that. And then before you know it, they don't need you anymore. They'll move on to someone else. I guarantee it. If they're hiding you in any capacity.
See this what we not finna do. See this what we not finna do.
Different story if it's the first few months, I understand. You need time to see if you and this person will last before you announce it. I completely respect, agree. But if it gets like 6 months, a year, and this person is actively hiding you, or when they post you on their stories, it's only on their private story. Oh my God. Okay. I want all of you to be with people who love you, for you, and want to show you off to the world, and I don't want you to be with anything less. If they're hiding you, who are they hiding you from? Don't want to make anyone paranoid here, but from experience, there's always a reason, I swear. Ask yourself, do they leave you feeling fulfilled or drained after seeing them? Do you feel like, oh, you collapse into bed and you're just so drained and you're like, oh my God, I just need time to recharge from that interaction? Or do you get home skipping like, oh my God, I had the best time ever, like I feel so great, on top of the world. I'm not questioning anything that they said or did. Question how you feel, and question if the effort is reciprocated on a 50-50 mutual basis. Would they be doing the stuff for you that you're doing for them? But remember that genuine friendships and relationships will not leave you drained. They will make you feel like you've returned home, and you won't have to hide any part of yourself. They will embrace every part of yourself to make it more enhanced. There's so many truths in here that I just feel like people are going to be like, all right, if you have ever found yourself Googling their behavior, there are so many red flags here. I'm just like, oh my God. Googling someone's behavior or YouTubing their behavior is as much of a red flag you need to know this person is not good for you. Don't feel like I have to elaborate on that. I think we can all think about that one for ourselves. I'm sure your best friends in the world, you haven't Googled their behavior. I think we all are aware of this now, but I do need to reiterate it. If someone's bad-mouthing their ex a lot, you know, the whole like, oh, my ex is crazy. Bad sign. For me, I think, well, what did you do to her to make her crazy? Is she crazy or are you just a dickhead? Bad-mouthing exes is one thing. But the guys that are so obsessively bringing their ex up in every single situation, when it's been like years, they're not over their ex. They're still thinking about their ex actively. If every single situation is reminding them of their ex, it's irrelevant. It's in the past. They would hate it, I'm sure, if you started just like talking about your ex and these stories you have. A little bit is fine to be like, oh, what happened in your last relationship, blah, blah, blah. But when it's like a daily occurrence, a weekly occurrence, and they're still talking about the ex, what the ex is up to, run. Run.
Next caller! Next caller!
And also, the men who are fully grown adults who are still blaming, treating women terribly on
oh, a girl treated me really badly when I was 14 years old.
No. Your trauma, your experiences in life, do not, under any circumstance, justify your bad behaviour. Your behaviour is your choice. You treating women badly is your choice.
Oh, it still hurt me 10 years ago.
Stop it. Get some help.
But I would never, ever in my entire life use it as an excuse to treat a guy badly. Ever. Because that is so destructive and nasty and evil. The things that I've been through have nothing to do with this other person, so I should take this other person as what they show me, who they are. Please stop just like finding girls and hurting them to get your hurt out of something that happened so long ago. Like, deal with your pain and be a better person.
You don't need a girlfriend, you just need a therapist.
It's so wrong for people to just like inflict their inner trauma on other people. You're just prolonging your pain for the rest of your life unless you actually see a therapist and get it sorted out. You have all the respect in the world from me, but I'm never, like, honest to God, the next time I come across someone that uses like an ex as an excuse to just treat people badly or hate women or whatever it is, like, I have met so many men in my life and dated so many men in my life who tell me they hate women. Where, like, why has my alarm bell never gone off before when they say that? I'll show them that they can trust women. I'll show them that we're not all like that. Next one. They don't ask you questions about yourself, but they love talking about them on a date or just hanging out, and the whole day they didn't ask you one question about yourself. I love learning about people, but sometimes it takes the piss, like the actual piss. It's mad to me that there's some people that I've dated for like months, years, whatever it is, and they don't know anything about me because they haven't bothered to ask anything about my past, why I am the way I am, my interests. They don't know me at all. And I know everything about them. I know their favorite snack when they were 3 years old and what their favorite color was when they were 7, and this person and that person. It's so obvious when you say it out loud, but in the moment you're just like, oh, they trust me and they're telling me all this stuff. But if they don't know anything about you, that's a little bit scary. It just shows that they don't care about you as a person. They're just using you as like a feminine emotional support animal. Like I said, a feminine energy of just someone that they can do stuff with and use for emotional support, and then just hurt you and leave. Like, I just sometimes like, how does your brain operate? I swear with these like F-boys, I'm like, how do you have an inner dialogue, or like is there just like no thoughts, head empty? Like, how can you do this to people and feel okay about it? When I'm talking about these points, the thing that is actually very scary, there's not just like one person that this is about. I would say easily this is about six guys, I'd say ish, that I've come across, whether it's just like dating for a few weeks, for a few months, years, whatever it is. This isn't about anyone individually. And the fact that there's 6 people that have these traits and have done this stuff. Like, this isn't just a one-off thing. I've come across this so often. It's at a point now where I'm like, I just want my girls out there and my guys and whoever else to rise above and say, no more of this. The bar is so low. So low. Like me, even my next point was like, if they're on their phone excessively at the table. It's so low. This is basic manners that their mother should have taught them when they were 4 years old. If you are sitting at dinner with me, why the hell are you on your phone on your explore page on Instagram? Like, it's so disrespectful and it's so rude. What is wrong with these people? I would never do that. And when I'm around someone, I'm like, okay, quality time. I do not go on my phone. When I'm around someone, I'm like, okay, quality time, quality time. I am barely on my phone if I'm seeing someone for dinner. I was gonna say ask anyone, but who even cares? Like, who's gonna ask anyone that? That's my time with you, and if I'm using that time with you to look on explore page at other guys, I would want you to throw me away, because that is ridiculous.
I hate to say it, I hope I don't sound ridiculous. I don't know who this man is.
And talking about the phone one, if they are always on their phone when they're with you, yet takes hours to respond to your messages, alarm bells. You're worth more than that. You know you're worth more than that. It's just like, oh, it's basic, like, Okay, if I meet you like this. This is how you meet me. You see my Instagram, you see me in person, you see this is how I dress, this is how I do my makeup. And then you come into my life, we start dating, and you start telling me, I don't like it when you wear makeup like that. I don't like it when you wear fake tan. I don't like these photos that you're putting on Instagram. They make me feel weird. I don't like the makeup, it's too excessive. This is how you met me when I looked like this. So why the hell are you trying to change me? You saw what you were getting. If you saw my Instagram, I'm never in my life ever again gonna hold back on posts or anything like this for a man, because like for someone's ego. There's one guy that I was dating, dating-ish, seeing whatever, months and months and months ago. And he literally, we met out like at a club, and I was way more dressed up like this, lashes on, everything like that. And then we were seeing each other for a bit, and I think by like week 2 was when he said to me, can you get your eyelash extensions removed? I really don't like them. And I considered it. Sad. And then I put up a photo because I was doing a lounge sponsorship. So I was doing a sponsorship for an underwear company, and then he messaged me like, oh, you're so thirsty. And I was like, what? Sorry, this is work. And he was like, it's actually disgusting that you consider that as work. You just want guys to DM you. And at that point, that's when I realized how fragile his ego was. But I was just like, you knew what you were getting. Like, no. When you meet someone, and this goes for me as well, because I have met guys that I've wanted to change, whether it be for them to be nicer or whatever it is, right? Let me just say it this way. Stop trying to change people. We need to take people as they are when we meet them. So if you meet someone and your values just clash and don't align, then why are you bothering? Don't do this whole like, I want to be the girl that changes him. Stop, it's such a waste of time. And like, why would you want to do that with someone? If they're showing you disrespect from the start, if they're showing you they don't care from the start, stop trying to chase for that affection and that approval. That should be filled through therapy and like self-work. It shouldn't be fulfilled through chasing someone that's going to make you worse and provide you more trauma, and then in turn validate all the bad feelings you have about yourself. It's a constant cycle. You will pick people, if you have a low self-love thing, of people who will validate your negative beliefs. Anyone that tries to control your image, I find that's the thing that they will try first. They will try and control your image, whether it's, oh, don't wear that out, or why are you posting that? Whatever it is, like, I don't like it when you wear makeup. It's like, Hannah, I was a makeup YouTuber when you met me, and you're telling me to stop wearing makeup. It's just madness. It's like me going to a car mechanic and walking to his garage and being like, I don't like it when you're near cars. Like, it's so weird. It's so weird. Yeah, I knew he was a car mechanic. I don't even know. Honestly, they will try firstly to control your image, and if you give in to that, it gives them the green light that they can then control your life. And it will get worse and worse and worse and more manipulative. If you show a guy that you can be controlled from these little things at the start, he will just abuse that, and he will use that if he's a bad person. I also need to reiterate, like, I'm speaking about like 10% of guys here. There are so many beautiful, amazing, fantastic men in the world. This applies to like the few that I feel many people in their 20s and 30s and teens have met. So I'm not applying this to all men or anything like that. It's just the select few, and then the select few that watch this and get offended, it's probably about you, because if you are relating to it, then it's probably about you. But I'm a lover of gorgeous, fantastic, loving men, but I'm just spilling the truth on the ones who don't fit in that category. I don't know who needs to hear this, but if they care about you, they will show you. Like, that's all you've got to understand. You don't need to beg for anything. They will show you willingly. They will do things for you. And it's not to say anything about you personally at all. If a guy's not doing stuff for you, it doesn't mean that you're not enough. All the questions you'll start going around your head, it has nothing to do with that, and everything to do with the fact that they can't meet you where they're at because you are such a lovely, beautiful, incredible person, and they don't feel worthy, or they feel like they deserve someone like you. So please don't fall down the pit of like, oh, I'm not enough, and it's not about you, I promise. They'll do this to anyone. Guaranteed, it's not just you. Okay, so now let's say it's gone wrong, okay? And they've done something, they've cheated on you, they've lied to you, they've betrayed you, whatever it is, right? And then you've had this massive disrespect and massive hurt put upon you, and you're seeking closure, so you're seeking these like long paragraphs to send to them about like how they hurt you, and you're wanting a response, like some kind of apology about, oh, I didn't mean to do it to you, like da 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 da. I have fallen into that boat so many times, but this year I've told myself I am never again sending any kind of paragraph to anyone. I'm just saying, okay, block, cut, bye.
You gotta walk out that door, baby. You have a one-way ticket to get the out of my lifeville, okay?
If you're seeking closure and you're writing the paragraphs and all this stuff and you kind of want an apology, closure is you wanting a verbal explanation for something they have already shown you. Think about that. Don't know what I'm doing. Like, it couldn't be more obvious than that. You already have seen what they did to you, and you want verbal explanation for something you've already seen. You already know. You already know the answer. You already know why they did it. You already know what's happened. So just take your self-worth, your self-love, pick yourself up, cut them off, block them, move on. There's a TikTok trend right now which is like, go on a beach and take bikini photos to show him what he lost. He doesn't care. That's the thing, he doesn't care. Don't do that. Don't do anything to try and get a reaction out of them, because that's just you putting so much energy into them still. That is not self-love. That is you looking for validation from them still, and I do not agree with that. I have done that in the past. So many things I'm telling you I have done in the past, hence why I'm telling you not to do them, because I've learned from them now. The best thing you can do is be like, okay, not the person for me. Move on to the next. It has nothing to do with you personally. It was just a lesson you need to learn in life. Focus on yourself. Do not focus on, oh, I should post bikini photos to get his attention. I have done it in the past, and it's honestly, I'm quite embarrassed that I used to do that so often. Like, it's just, it's so obvious that you're seeking, you're still putting that energy out there. Like, for what?
I had a reason.
What was the reason?
I had a reason.
What was the reason? What was the reason?
For someone that treats you so badly that if you were back with them you'd be miserable. So many truth bombs today, I'm like, oh my god. I'm like wrapping this up on like things that happen when things end, but I do want to know in the comments if anything I've said to you right now is like light bulb, alarm bell, whatever it is. I'd love to know which thing I'm telling you is like, oh my god, yes, that point, so let me know. But I just want you to love yourself enough to stop giving these chances and these justifications and these excuses to people that have already shown you disrespect, already shown you hurt multiple times. People have already shown you what you needed to see, and no matter how much begging and paragraphs and revenge photos and whatever it is, like, you've seen it already, and it will happen again 9 times out of 10. Especially if like it's the talking phase kind of thing and you're not actually dating, then yeah, it'll happen again. And you taking them back time after time after time will just mean they can do it easier and easier and easier because they know you will keep taking them back. So, but when your intentions are pure with someone, you don't lose them, they lose you. There's a huge thing that people don't understand, that when they feel like they've been taken advantage of and used by someone and they really, really, really love them and they really poured their heart and soul into them, they feel like they've lost this huge thing and they have a huge void in their life. You need to change the script and realize that they have lost someone that loved them genuinely and unconditionally and was there for them non-stop. You didn't lose that at all. You lost someone that didn't care about you and was actually making your life worse. Please remember that. Please. You are going to meet someone one day and you're going to be so thankful that you didn't settle. Promise. I promise. It might happen in a year, it might happen in a month, it might happen in a week, it might happen in 5 years, 4 years, but when it will happen when it needs to happen, because I'm sure if it's not happening right now, there's a reason for it. Heal like previous trauma from an ex, whether other things are just going on, you don't have enough self-love, like it will come a time where you meet someone and it will be the perfect time and you'll just be so thankful. Like all the people that you met in the past that treated you so badly, you'll be like, I'm so glad I got out of that, like what was I doing? So that is my little girl talk session about red flags, dating, F-boys, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it. It's been so lovely to film again, and I definitely want to do more of these sort of chilled advice style videos because I have lots of things to natter about and I have lots of time because I'm in lockdown. So thank you guys so much for watching, and let me know what kind of like set off a light bulb in your head, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!